guys,
Hey man.
we are the Pact, Tico Pierhagen, Ronald Jonker, Sietse Huisman, can't help it. And we just released our first debut album, Possibilities. And we asked you guys to ask us a couple of questions, and you can ask them on all of us. So, here's the first one.
Fire away.
We got a great question from Liz from Canada. Hi Liz. Your question was what was the inspiration for the Huns? That's a song title of our new on our new album. Well, thank you for the question. It was somebody actually who helped us during the process of the album, and he did a proposal. This was a guy from Holland, from Drenthe. And he said, I'm writing a book about the Huns in Drenthe. The Huns are big stones which are a cemetery from the ancient times. And he was writing a book, and he asked us to write something which has the typical Pact sound, which is a mixture of fusion and pop and soul and jazz music. So he asked us to write a tune for this audio book. Actually, it's an audio book. He was writing an audio book, and he's looking for some music. So we composed this music especially for the writer of the book, The Huns.
Hi, Peter from Holland, which is the same country as I'm from. Which track has the most is most meaningful to me on the album Possibilities? Let me think. That's a very difficult question because they're all awesome, of course. Let me start by saying I love playing with Alan Hines, and I like his music, which is I like that style. So that's one of my favorites. But let's say there is nothing better than playing and writing your own music. So we're talking about the Huns, we're talking about an arrangement of Summertime, all that stuff. I like that too because I can put more of me in there, of the band, of the Pact, of the influence of the sound. So it's very difficult. And of course all the tracks, because I like the groove. So Detour Ahead has a nice groove, has a nice bass thing in it. So it's the most difficult question actually. Thanks.
Good question from Eric from Leeds. What is it that we represent actually? What we want to do with the Pact is focus on connection. People, politics. It's a strange world we live in these days. We have polarization, we have strange political vibes going on, and people feel lost. They don't know where to go, they don't know what to think, they're very busy in their lives, all that stuff, and they lost connection with themselves and their environment. What we want to do with the Pact is building bridges, working with people, with great artists, as you can hear and see on the record and on our tours. And we want to focus on building the good vibes, reconnect with each other, not only as a band, but especially also with you guys, the audience, and the musicians we work with. So, as our keyboard player Tico always says, we want to keep the dream alive. And especially in these days, it's very important that it is our task to fulfill that promise. That's what we want to do.
Hi Bjorn. Bjorn, we got a question from Bjorn from Stockholm. The Pact, he was asking us for our tour dates. Of course, you can see all our tour dates on our website. The website is here. You can see the website here in the image. Where are we playing? Good question actually. I don't know the dates exactly, but there's a tour coming up actually to Scandinavia. There's a tour coming up to Italy, so you can check the dates on our website.
Pierre from France. Hey man, Good question. What kind of bass? I like those questions. What kind of a bass do I use for the recordings? I use a Music Man Stingray 5, which was built in 1989. I love the sound of the thing. It's more specific to me than Fender basses, and I like to use D'Addario strings for the brightness. It's just a regular set. So yeah, I love that sound, and I use the bass on stage as well as in the recording. So I always have the same kind of sound because it's the source. Because you can use any kind of amp, but they all will color it, or I like the source the best. So that's it, man. Good question.
I got a question from Dennis from LA. He's asking me something about the gear I'm using. Actually, for the recordings, I did use my Tama Star Classic Bubinga. I own a studio where I do all my drum recordings. On the road, I always use a Tama Walnut. Fantastic piece of drums. Zildjian cymbals and yeah, regal tip drumsticks. But most of all, I love my Tama drums that you will hear on the recording. Great stuff. Good question. Thanks, Dennis.
Hey guys, thanks for all your great questions. Fantastic stuff. We'd like to give you guys feedback about what we do, what we are, and why we do and why we are. So hope to see you guys soon at one of our shows on the tours. You can check the tours on www.the-pact.com, and hope to see you nearby and listen to the album with all great artists like
Alan Hines, Adam Hawley, Richard Smith, Tom Braxton, Niels Gipner, Gianni Fancini, Marty Verdonk. Go and buy it.
Man, that's an impressive list, man.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for watching. Thank you for supporting us. I mean, without you, it's impossible to keep this dream alive.
Absolutely. Ciao.
Bye.